Hello, and welcome back to Laura's Plans. So, as you read from the title, life got a little bit messy in the last couple of weeks of July. And because of that, so did my planner. But that's okay. I wanted to share with you what happened, also share with you some of the things that I learned over the last couple of weeks. We're going to start back in the week of July 12th through the 18th because it was kind of where things really kind of started to come unglued a bit. And I do have to apologize because by the time Friday or Saturday came around last week, I really just didn't have the brain power to record a video. But I thought I'd show you kind of what happened. So I had originally set up the week of July 12th through the 18th really with the intention of keeping the same structure and organization that I had in the previous weeks of the month. Unfortunately, that's really not how things happened. As I began the week, I started with my normal day on 2 pages, my time bar, my to-do list, and my notes, and things were fine. But as the week went along, I started to have to pull in more pages just to kind of keep track of those minute little details that I really needed to double check and keep track of for work. Unfortunately, as the week went on, things got more and more hectic and the structure started to fall apart. And that's okay. I don't mind that. But I was beginning to feel a bit frustrated because as I was going through the pages, I was beginning to lose track of things that were work related versus home related. And I do think that a few things kind of slipped through the cracks because of it. And as I got further and further into the week, I became very frustrated because I was flipping back and forth and trying to find things and trying to separate work and home and just kind of find my way through this. And at one point I actually was like, I give up. I can't do this. I grabbed a separate notebook and started keeping notes for work in a separate, just little, coil bound notebook. And it's something that, I'll eventually throw away. There was nothing in there that was needed to be transferred, but it was very frustrating. And I was then able to come back into my planner and put more structure and just take the time that I needed in order to utilize this and keep myself organized. Because when I say that this truly is my brain on a page, it really is my brain on a page. And when it gets cluttered or disorganized or randomized, I guess, I have a problem with that. So moving into the next week, I once again set everything up as I have been for the month of July. And the only difference is that I went ahead and realized with everything going on, I needed to make this as simple as possible. And so it is basically just a running to-do list for each day, any notes or anything that I needed to keep track of on the side. I was able to kind of keep myself on track and get to this point today on Friday where I felt like all of those things that had fallen through the cracks because everything was getting sort of muddled and blended and just thrown on a page, I could then instead kind of compartmentalize. But I also truly began to embrace utilizing a digitized system, a digital system, which I already have set up, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. So one of the things that I really realized and moving into this last week of July is that I don't really like having my work truly housed 100% in this notebook. And I mentioned that earlier in the month that I was feeling a bit frustrated, but I hadn't realized what an impact it truly had on me and how frustrated it made me to not have them separate. And so moving into this last week of July, I have gone ahead and embraced the fact that no, I will really not be putting work in here, with a few exceptions. The big events and big timelines I will include on my master calendar because those deadlines will directly influence how I schedule out the rest of the month. So that is really the extent of the work elements, is just kind of a big picture tracking on this calendar. And then appointment kind of, my standing meetings that might get scheduled in throughout the week. Other than that, work is being extracted from this planner because the truth of the matter is I can't keep both in here and stay sane. This last couple weeks really taught me what I want from this planner, my everyday carry, my Stalogy, compared to what I need work to be, and so on and so forth. So that made me start thinking. I had to start thinking about the elements of One Book July that were also part of not just using one book, one pen, or minimizing what I put into a book, but also my habits and routines. I realized, thanks to this experience, that I'm a pretty boring person. My daily routines are habitual. I wake up at about the same time every single day without an alarm. I go and I do certain things in order every single day. The idea of having to have this daily routine tracker is not something that I'm going to be carrying over into August. However, I am going to be utilizing a tracking system to really look at my progress on the goals that I establish for each month. Normally, that tracker is housed at the bottom of this one moment, one thing, one thought that made me smile each day log. I normally put them here, but instead, because I don't really need to track, did I do my morning skincare? Did I do my evening skincare? Did I empty the dishwasher? Did I vacuum a level? Did I do a bathroom on a level? Did I? Those kind of ta-da moments that I was putting in here and tracking, I really don't need to, because I do those pretty regularly. But I do want to track my progress on my goals. I also want to track my progress in building those 2 additional habits that are fairly new to me and that I want to focus on. So, although I made some very cute, beautiful little tracking systems in here, I really don't intend to take those with me in August. I do, however, intend to print out and tip in this lovely little habit tracker from Paper Test Designs. I was able to turn to this easily every single day, and I really like that. The other thing that I learned really quick is, although this is nice to have, and I've had it like that in and out for years now, this little Hobonichi Weeks that goes along with my wallet, this gets thrown in whatever bag I'm using, and the weeks is in there, and I basically have it set up so that I sit down each week on a Friday night or Saturday morning and I plan the meals. I look at everything in the freezer, I look at everything in the pantry, and then I plan my meals, and I do that with my family, and then I create my shopping list. So this is what I take in with me to the grocery store, and I check things off as I get it. Why I felt the need to duplicate this or extract this from my planning was to see if I really needed it, if I really liked it, if I really wanted it. But I will tell you, this came back into play. I did not use it the first week of July. You can see I didn't put my shopping list here. I did write down what we ate, but I didn't use it, and it bothered me. Here again, I wrote down the week of the 12th through the 18th what we were going to eat, but I didn't use it for my shopping list, and it bothered me. And so last week I decided, nope, this is what works for me. This is what I carry because it is my wallet. It goes with me everywhere. And so I will continue to use this for meal planning, for appointment setting, because I do put major events in here, and like if I go get my hair done or if I go to the grocery store or the dentist, this is coming with me because it's my wallet. So I'll write it down in here, and that way I can then take that information and transfer it to my master calendar. And it's pretty handy to have your shopping list right next to your meal plan so that if you forgot to write something down, you can look it over and say, oh, you know what I forgot? We need this for this. And it works. So this is coming back in August, and it will stay indefinitely. Do I think I'll order another week's in January? Absolutely. That little system works beautifully for me for what I have it set aside for, and it's meal planning and shopping lists. And that's basically it. So moving forward, that's something that's going to go. Social media is one that I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. It might actually, I am going to build it in here, but I'm also going to build it in the other system I'm going to be using the month of August, which is a digital system. And the reason I decided on a digital system is because in the past, I have separated work and home in notebooks before. I've put them in 3-ring binders. I've put them in bound notebooks. I've done a lot of different things, and I really didn't want to start another notebook and not finish it. I hate having unfinished notebooks. It's one of my pet peeves. And so in order to combat that, I actually decided to utilize a digital bullet journal in combination with a planning system that I picked up on Etsy. It is, I can take you to the home and show you. It's called a life planner. And this is a very, very structured planner. It has months that you will utilize. It has an overview page, a monthly page, a weekly page, and there's one for each week, as well as daily pages. And the daily pages are structured down by schedule, task list, top priorities, a note box, and then plenty of room at the bottom to add in some wonderful widgets that they have that you can use. Now, this planner is not truly set up for work. It is a planner that's set up to be able to use for all things. But I figure if I need a very highly structured system, if that's what I decide to use, I can use this because it has a customizability in that it has these 8 index sections that I can use for different things. And I've played around in this planner before, thinking that I might use it on a personal level. Doesn't really work, but I can build a bullet journal back here if I decide this is the route I want to go for work in August. However, I know myself, and I also know my type of work, and I need a lot of adaptability, a lot of customizability. And so I have decided to start the month of August in a digital bullet journal for work. This is a product that I'm really happy to share with everyone. It's a Wear of Stockholm digital bullet journal, and it's really kind of cool because not only does it have the bullet journal, it has a quick notes area where you can take quick notes and add to it, so kind of like sticky notes. It also has a vision board if you need to use a vision board, which for me, it could very easily become a storyboard for my next project that I'm working on. But it also has the digital planner, which is tabbed, and I'll zoom it in so you can see. It is tabbed for a full 12 months, but they are not dated. So I can keep this, export it, and reload a new one every single year if I wanted to. I bought it once and it's mine forever, and I can reuse it over and over and over again. The neat thing is it does have a yearly section where you are able to do a yearly overview as well as the different tab months. Now, when you go into, let's just say January, it's just like opening up a bullet journal that's been tabbed. It is 100% blank. I chose the dot grid There are different templates that you can choose from. You can choose a full grid, lined, blank, you name it. And you build this notebook with the amount of pages that you need. And I'm going to turn it this way so it's a little bit bigger. And I can show you what I did for August. And it's kind of cool because I'm really not a big template user. I do tend to like to draw things in myself. And even with this, it allows me to zhuzh it up. I was able to add in some, almost like what I would consider a vellum dashboard into it. I was able to build a month on 2-page calendar so that I could see the snapshot of what I needed for the month of August with work. I was able to keep my log, my tracking system for work, and I was able to also put in here my content planning, which I know that I said I may keep it in my Stalogy, and I think I will put it in both and see which one I gravitate towards for content, YouTube, Instagram planning. And the neat thing is because it is digital, you can utilize pictures that you take on your phone. You can get free images off the internet. You can use sticker books that you may have purchased in the past, PNG files. If you have purchased downloadable stickers, you can utilize those. Etsy has 1,000,001 shops that sells good notes based sticker books, where they're theme stickers. And even though this is for work, I am still an aesthetic person, and I love being able to look at a page and see aesthetic elements in it. Now, do I tone it down for work? Absolutely. As if I'm in a meeting and I'm working on this page, I don't want it to be, full of some of the other stuff that I add in to some of my other notebooks, but it is a totally adaptable notebook. And this is the page that I set aside for the first week of August. Now, I haven't planned it yet, and I'm not going to plan it until later on this week, but I thought I'd see if you all would be interested to see how I actually go about setting up a week in this digital bullet journal and the dailies and things like that, and showing you how I intend to use this moving forward. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to be very similar to what I use my Stalogy. It's just that work is going to have its own home. And the nice thing is, guys, I can save this digitally year after year after year. If I want to, I can export the whole file and print it out in PDF and have it bound and be able to put it on my shelf. But the reality is, I'm looking at minimizing what I'm keeping instead of adding to. And this digitized format is something that I really like. And to be honest with you, part of me is thinking it might work on a personal level, because I don't know about you guys, but I have thousands of pictures on my phone that I don't ever print out and put into my notebooks, but I could easily add them into a digital bullet journal like this. So let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see how August goes in this digital bullet journal for work? And are you interested in seeing if I can make it work at a personal level? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But so that's it. When I came to setting up the rest of July and really thinking about what I was going to do in August, I realized that there are certain things I need this book to do to keep me sane, to keep me on track. But when I blend too much together, when I throw too many things all into one, it's overwhelming for me. And I do need some elements of compartmentalization in order to keep myself moving forward. So that's what I learned. And moving into August, I actually am going to enjoy being able to add back in some of my fluff. I've actually started looking at my different craft papers and stickers and markers and things like that I want to add back into my August setup here. You can see that I've fully embraced and am ready to have some fun when it comes to August in my digital system for work. And yeah, my trusty handy dandy Hobonichi Weeks is going to come back in with a vengeance and keep my meal plan and my grocery shopping and all of that fun stuff on track for me. So One Book July has been a good experience. I'm looking forward to ending the week though, because I really can't wait to get to zhuzhin this thing back up with some of my fluff. I hope you all had a wonderful week. I hope One Book July has taught you a few things about your routines, your habits, the things you need and the things you don't. And on that note, I'm going to say I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in August.